I want to be clear that you and I stopped being mutuals because you supported Donald Trump. And now you came back to say that you understand that we're not the same because you would never stop being friends with somebody because of politics. And you say that both sides are corrupt. Allow me to address that. Let me start by saying that I always thought you were a nice guy, Jeremy, and I still do. But we disagree on more than just politics. We disagree on morality. Contrary to MAGA belief, gay people actually do have morals. And my morals are this. You don't starve the hungry, and you don't take Medicaid away from the poor. You don't take away health care from millions of Americans. It's not okay to promise that you're going to deport hardened criminals and then go chasing down farm workers in the strawberry field or at the construction site or at an immigration hearing. And it's not okay to open up a virtual concentration camp in the Everglades or anywhere else. And as far as I'm concerned, Trump never even qualified to run for president because he's a 34-count convicted felon. He's not qualified to groom my damn dogs. And he says he doesn't want to be a king, but yet he's posted pictures of himself dressed up like a king, AI pics, and somehow he thinks he can run our entire government with unconstitutional executive orders. His pen is not a magic wand. Congress must hold him accountable. But they won't because they're all pussies too. At least all of the Republicans in Congress, you know, the ones who voted to let him keep hiding the Epstein files. Does that matter to you, Jeremy? Because it matters to me. And it's not about politics. It's about justice. And while both sides might be kind of corrupt, justice is a moral value and it doesn't exist on the right. Democrats aren't perfect, but I don't know how anybody can support a man who cheated on both of his wives, went bankrupt 6 times, tells a new lie every day like, I'm going to end the war on day 1. I'm going to bring down grocery prices. I'm going to release the Epstein files. My uncle was the Unabomber's teacher and blames his predecessor for appointing the chairman of the Federal Reserve that he himself appointed. I don't know if you've awakened to these realities yet or not, but when it comes to two sides being corrupt, only one side is fucking this country up into the worst shape it's ever been in my life. And it's definitely not Democrats.
But I find it friends bizarre. With a Trump supporter. I won't give them a kidney, but I could be friends with them. See, I mean, the thing about it is it's not just about politics. It's about morality, ethics. It's about cruelty. It's about discrimination. It's about a lot of things. So those are personal human values. We're not really just talking about fiscal conservative who pays more taxes. We're talking about you as a human being. So it's hard to be friends with someone who signs on to something like that.
If you voted for the party that wants to defund public education, then how dare you ask your daughter why she's not having children? If you voted for the party that wants to roll back workplace safety regulations, then how dare you ask your daughter why she's not having children? If you voted for the party that wants to destroy a sustainable natural environment, then how dare you ask your daughter why she's not having children? If you voted for the party that wants to dismantle healthcare and retirement benefits for future generations, then how dare you ask your daughter why she's not having children? If you voted for the party that would let her bleed out before giving her life-saving care, then how dare you ask your daughter why she's not having children? And if you voted for the party that would put her rapist in office before putting him behind bars, then how dare you ask your daughter why she's not having children? And how dare you be the one who did this to her?
All right, Trumpers, I've got 1 minute. So here's the deal. I watched a video this morning of where this lady was extremely sad and lost a bunch of friends because of who she voted for. And she said that if she had it to go over again, she wouldn't have voted at all. But let me explain this real quick. It's not that you voted for your Republican Party. It's the fact that you lost friends because you voted for Donald Trump, a criminal, a man that wants to take your rights away. George W. Bush didn't want to take women's rights away. He didn't want to get rid of the LGBTQ community. He didn't want to go and start a bunch of nonsense. He didn't want the government to be shut down. It's the fact that you voted for Donald Trump is why I stopped talking to people. Other people started to stop talking to other people. It was because of what you believed in Donald Trump, and you were okay with having a convicted felon in there. You was having somebody that wanted to turn over Roe v. Wade. You wanted to have women's rights took away. This is why people lost friends. It wasn't because you voted Republican. It was because you voted for Donald Trump. And let's be real clear on that, because if you vote for Donald Trump, that shows me your character, that you're okay with a criminal. You're okay with a sex offender. You're okay with somebody that was hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein. You're okay with somebody that only looks after themselves and not after the country. You want to put a Republican in there, put a Republican in there. But I'm not supporting Donald damn Trump nor the Trump brand. So yes, I will not be your friend. It's what it is.
The 2024 election was so personal to millions of Americans. It was not a political difference, but a difference in morals, humanity, and what values should guide the country. And many people believe that a vote is not just a political choice. It is a reflection of someone's character, and that's why many relationships are ending. So let's have a look. Please like and hype the video and let me know your thoughts in the comments, alright? Let's get into it.
Let me tell y'all one thing y'all not gonna do on this good post-election Wednesday. Sit up here and cry about people deleting you because of your political views, mainly because you voted for Trump. I can't believe people would just delete me because we have different political views. Like, I think that's so sad. With this man, it's not about different political views. It's about the type of person he is and the things that he spews and the things he has spewed outwardly against black people, against women, against poor people. And the fact that a lot of y'all are okay with having that type of president is the problem. We have never had somebody run for presidency that outwardly spews such hate and bigotry and negativity against people who are not rich and white. But you, as a person who is not of color, that has friends and family members that are of color, or you as a woman, or you as a black person, or a person of color that says, well, I support him because of other reasons or whatever reasons. It's the fact that you would say, I would denounce, I don't care about him being racist. I don't care about him violating women. I don't care about none of that. That's still the type of president I want because he gonna help me make some more money or whatever other policies that I still have not heard him say besides this Project 2025 nonsense that's running around. The amount of danger that what he's spewing brings to the people that you say you love. To hear a man outwardly be so racist, but you have friends who are black or of color, to us, that sounds like you are okay with us facing those type of dangers because the president says that it's okay. So of course there's going to be people running around spewing their hate too towards the people that you say you love and you care about. This time, with a person who outwardly just says these nasty things that we can see it, for you to be like, well, I mean, they'll have to deal with that. And then you get on social media and you're like, I can't believe you guys just don't like me because of because of my political views. No, it's because of the danger that it brings for this man to be the president, and that you are okay with your friends or your family members or people you say you love living in this danger because you like some of his other policies. You're gonna vote for him, stand on you voting for him, but don't say that nonsense up here like you just so outwardly shocked and you can't believe people are losing friends. Like, that sounds like a bunch of nonsense. Duh, you're gonna lose friends, especially if they're black, if they're a woman, and they don't make a lot of money. So stand on it. Just know that you're gonna lose some friends. That's fine. Just be okay with that. But don't get on here trying to piss on me and tell me it's raining. No. It sounds like you're okay with all of that. So that sounds like that is your characteristic because you are okay with that. So it's all right. Just,
you guys, my dad literally just got punched in the face for being a Trump supporter. Like, that was it. Just for being a Trump supporter. And I'd do it again. Bah, bah, bah.
Having a conversation the other day about the results of the election with a friend, and we were talking about whether people vote out of love and hope versus anger and fear, and I think specifically Trump voters. Like, were they voting for him because they actually believed him, they believed the lies that he was telling them, or they were doing it as a gotcha to Democrats, to Biden, to Harris, to these libs? My friend came up with the point talking about how, like, when parents spank their children, they say that it's for discipline. They say that it's to teach their kids a lesson. They say that it's just parenting. But we all know that it's because the parents are unable to articulate and have the emotional intelligence to actually parent the child, and they just take out their emotions on said child. They compare it to the Trump voter. I think the typical Trump voter does not follow policy, does not follow the presidency, does not follow the historical context, does not have the education to understand why Trump himself is not a good candidate and why what he will implement is not going to be good for them specifically. But they love the joke of it all. They love the gotcha. They love the, like, oh, owning the libs. Similarly to spanking, I think that the parent and the child and their relationship is negatively affected because of said spanking, where if you did active parenting, if you did like soft parenting, if you actually just like talk to your child, they wouldn't be as damaging as like hitting them. The same it goes for Trump voters, where it's like if they actually were engaged, if they actually questioned, if they actually just like thought about what Trump is saying and like believed for what he was saying, like we would all be benefiting, including them.
You know, there are a lot of cowardly men out there who are supporting Donald Trump and think it's manly to do so. I don't know about you folks, but when I was growing up, all of the men around me told me to respect women, treat them with the dignity that they deserve, don't bully women, don't insult women. Donald Trump has done every single one of those things. He's bullied women, insulted them for their age, weight, appearance, things of that nature. He was found liable in court by a jury of his peers for assaulting a woman. And of course, to this day, he brags about taking reproductive rights away from women. So if you're a man and you're supporting this guy, what's wrong with you? Get it together. If you are willing to overlook Donald Trump thinking that your wife, your daughter, your sister, your mother are just pieces of meat and that he doesn't care about them, then I'm sorry. You're a coward. Now take your Monster Energy drinks, your lifted truck, and get the hell out.
So I got rid of all of my MAGA friends in 2020 election. I didn't have anyone that was outright MAGA, but I did have friends who wouldn't tell me who they were voting for, and then I would see them in Donald Trump's likes. I had friends who told me they didn't vote at all, and those are people I no longer associate with. And from 2020 until now, until like 2024 election, I still remained tolerating cousins and family friends who voted for Trump, only because I felt like it's not really my choice to keep these relations. Like, you're my family, or like, you know, you're my family friend, you're like close friends with my parents. Like, it's not really up to me. Like, I'll tolerate you, I'll see you when there's a family gathering, whatever the case may be. But then after the 2024 election, I obviously crashed the fuck out. I like blocked all of these family friends and cousins I had on social media because I actually don't fuck with you anymore. And a lot of these people are like older than me and don't even know I blocked them. So like, I guess it's not really doing much, but it's very much one-sided beef that maybe they don't know about. And sometimes I'll think I'm being like dramatic, like, oh, like, you know, this is someone I love. This is someone who was like a second father to me my whole life. And, you know, he's getting older. Like, if he dies, like, am I going to regret that, like, I just don't speak to him or see him anymore? And then I see videos of ICE kidnapping people on the street. I see that they're discussing, you know, the overturning of gay marriage. And it's like, how the fuck does anyone remain cordial with literally anyone on that side? I also feel like we got to this point because we didn't ostracize these people enough in 2016. And they just thought like, hey, yeah, I could get by in life being a really fucking shitty person. And I just feel like enough is enough. Like, these people don't deserve respect. They don't deserve friendships. They don't deserve anything meaningful and good in life. Truly, genuinely.
So let me get this straight. We said, if you voted for Trump, we're not going to be affiliated with you no more. We're not coming to Thanksgiving. We don't want to talk to you. And y'all really said, oh, you want to fight? Like, please be so serious. Nobody wants to fight you. But let's be honest about what is actually happening with these white Southern women who think everybody wants to jump them. They're using this as a way to be anti-black. They're using this as a way to be anti-black. Over 92% of black women voted for Kamala Harris. And now y'all really feel like, oh, they're going to jump us because we're white. And that's a fantasy that y'all are making up in your heads. You're making it up. Nobody wants to fight you. Nobody wants to even be associated with you. Okay? We don't want to talk to y'all. Nobody wants to talk to y'all. You voted for Trump. His policies are going to beat y'all's ass by themselves. Nobody wants to fight you. Knock it off.
You fucked around with your vote. Now it's time you found out. Am I the asshole for cutting off my sons financially after they voted for Trump? I, 52 male, have two sons, Isaac, 22 male, and John, 20 male. My wife and I have always leaned left politically, and we've raised our kids to value equality, compassion, and critical thinking. We've had countless family discussions about politics and the impact of policies on people's lives. So you can imagine my shock when I found out after this last election that both of my sons voted for Trump. It came out during a casual family dinner when I asked, so who'd you guys vote for? Expecting them to either dodge the question or name one of the candidates aligned with our values. Isaac shrugged and said, Trump. His policies just make the most sense.
America has reached a point where politics is no longer something you can leave at the ballot box. It has become part of people's lives because political decisions affect people's rights, safety, jobs, healthcare, education, and their future. For many years, people could just say, let's talk about politics, Friends with different opinions could sit down, laugh together, and enjoy life together. Families would argue during elections and move on being friends. But in today's politics, that dynamic has really changed. It has become personal. Many people believe that when political choices affect fundamental rights or the treatment of other people, the disagreement is no longer about policy preferences. It's about whether someone feels respected, safe, or even valued. And that explains why many friendships are ending. Friendship is built on trust, and when people feel that trust has been broken, rebuilding it is very difficult. Every person has a right to decide whom they want in their life, and no one is required to maintain a friendship or a relationship where they believe harms their well-being or even conflicts with their values. So people are setting boundaries for their own peace, and I think the 2024 election will likely be remembered not only about who won or even lost, but also how it deeply affected personal relationship. It changed the way people view friendship, relatives, co-workers, and even neighbors. It became a test of values as much as a contest of a policy. And this shows that every vote carries consequences beyond the election results. It shapes laws, policies, public debate, and even personal relationship. So let me know what you think about this. Do you think it is right to cut off Trump voters in your life? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.